All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Rutland Town Select Board meeting at 6 o'clock in the town hall. We are back, some of us live and in person. Others are still zooming in, and that's perfectly okay. This is Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. And because some of us are here, I would invite you to join me in the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. So just a couple of notes on how we're going to proceed here. We're going to do our usual order, but our town attorney, Kevin Brown, will be calling in at 6:30 to cover a couple of items. We'll go into executive session for that. So we're going to try and do as much as we can before then. We have present here in the room Don Chaffee and Mary Ashcroft. We have on the Zoom call Joe DiNardo, and also on this by phone we have John Paul Fagnan. So Sharon Russell called me earlier. She's not feeling well, so she is not going to be participating in this evening's meeting. Approval of orders, just a reminder, there are some here. Donna, sorry, I didn't know you were coming and the others weren't, but if you could do the orders before you leave. And then Joe and JP, if you could stop by, review and approve, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Next item is the approval of the select board minutes for our meeting on May 25th. They were sent out to you. Is there any motion?
A couple of corrections, Mary.
Let me get them in front of me. Okay, what page?
One is just an oversight, Bill, on page 4. I believe in the second line, I believe that word should be thought, T-H-O-U-G-H-T.
A current thought over another current thought. Got it. Next.
The other one is substantive on page 10. Discussed making it a committee of the whole of the board. That's number F on the fire station discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I would wish that the discussion that took place on that could be added to the minutes.
We have made it
Pardon me?
We have made it a committee of the whole. Bill's got it posted. The committee's over there, the committee.
I understood from the article anyway, when I read the article, it said that we had made it a committee of the whole. I didn't understand that at the meeting. So if we could clarify that in the minutes, saying discussed making the committee of the whole board, and it was decided that it would be a committee of the whole. I'd like to make that part of the permanent record.
I'm putting it was so decided. I'm doing this, Don, so that we can sign the minutes tonight while we're here.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
What else?
I'll make a motion that the minutes be approved as amended.
Okay. Motion's made to approve the minutes of the May 25th meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been seconded. Any further additions, deletions, corrections? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. Coming your way, Don. Okay. Next item on the agenda, Bill Sweet. Oh, wait, sorry. Questions from the floor and public comment. Do we have anyone who's calling in tonight who is not otherwise on the agenda who would like to address the board? Doesn't look it. Okay, so then moving right along, Bill Sweet.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nice to be back.
Yeah.
Nice to have you all back. I've been here the whole time. All right. So for the packet, I did change for the board items from numbers to letters. So that way on the agenda, I'm going to have them hopefully in most cases line up with the agenda item letter.
Yeah,
So that
yes,
kind of helps
indeed.
to make it a little easier to find and to figure out which one goes with which.
Okay.
The first one is the updated schedule and meeting schedules, committee agenda items. Not much has changed on that. And just for the schedule, note that I'll be out of the office the 21st to the 25th. So that means I won't be here for the next board meeting. So I will get packets out and everything like that, but I just won't be in person for the next board meeting. So,
Okay.
So the next several items, B through F, are all covered under new business items.
Okay.
So they'll be set aside for that. And then G it goes along with the police committee meeting report, police committee minutes. It's a detailed list of the police fleet. So that goes along with police committee minutes.
Okay.
And the next one is for another new business item that I didn't get into later. And the last item is from Kari. We were going to put these in for this meeting and for the next one, the budget status sheets for the current year.
Okay. And do we have some late additions?
Yes. So emailed out to the board members and the ones that are here have them on your desk. I got a letter today from Max Steel wishing to renew their salvage yard permit. For 5 years, their permit application is complete. They've sent along a check, and it's just up to the board to approve it.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the application for certification of an approved location of a salvage yard. The applicant is Mack Equipment and Steel Company. They are on 286 North Main Street. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. It looks like, no, there's room for all of us to sign.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Okay. Any discussion? I must say I enjoy seeing their newest creation when I drive by. They're a very creative bunch up there. Okay. If not, all those in favor of approving the certificate for a salvage yard for a 5-year term, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Thank you all. Motion carries.
Yeah.
So that takes care of that.
VLCT sent out an email this afternoon about the ARPA funds. We're not able to put our application in yet. And that's because they are lobbying to get the rule changed, requiring some of the funds to go to the county level first. They're trying to get that changed so it can go to state and municipalities directly rather than having to go through the county level.
But that's the second batch of money.
That's the reason that was listed for it not being able to be applied for yet.
Okay.
So there wasn't much more detail than that, but that they did expect it to be available to apply for this month.
Okay.
So when
We'll
we get the next update, we'll see what it
Alrighty.
says.
Well, on that note,
Yes.
we did draft up a notice for remember we talked at having public input on these two things?
Yeah.
And there's 2 dates coming up. It's posted on the town's Facebook page.
Yes.
It will be in the circle. We've got listening sessions, one in July and one later this
Yep.
month. So check out the circle when it comes, and more on that later.
Yep. And they're
the
listed
Facebook page.
events on our Facebook page. So
Okay, very good.
Yep. So anybody can join
We
that.
want input, please.
Yes. I have not heard anything from VLCT yet on the safety grant. They have said they received it, but I haven't heard anything yet on whether or not we get approved
Okay.
for it. So we're just waiting to hear on that. And the last thing I also emailed out was copy of the highway committee meeting minutes from early this morning. Byron, Joe, and I sat down and reviewed the 5 proposals we received for the Route 7 North scoping study. We each used the scoring process that's outlined in the RFP, and we each came up with our own score and our own recommendation, and we all agreed. So I also had Devin Neary from the Regional Planning Commission, who has experience with this too. He reviewed them and independently, and when I told him who our first choice was, he said, good, that was his too. So so it was the Dufresne Group. So if the board approves that as a contractor, I need to then go to the state, to our contact there, and let him know, and then they review their proposal and make sure it meets their criteria, and then we can get a contract going.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion then to approve, subject to the state's approval,
Yes.
the choice of Dufresne. Is that what
Yes.
it used to be?
Dufresne Group.
Dufresne Group.
Yeah.
And that amount is $35,000. They were not the low bidder. They were the next to the lowest bidder.
Could we get an explanation first, or would you rather have a motion, Mary?
Let's get the motion so we can
Okay.
do the,
That's fine.
okay. So is there a motion?
I'll move that we accept the Dufresne Group.
Okay, is there a second? JP? If you said something, I didn't hear you.
I think he's having an Alka-Seltzer.
Don, will you second for the purpose of discussion?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right, motion's made and seconded. And an explanation. Joe, you want to do that?
I can. Basically, with these funds that are available to the town for the scoping study for that sidewalk, which would roughly go from Field Avenue to Post Road, there is a format that we have to follow. Bill filled out all the blank spaces on the request for proposal, and we sent that out to 5. We got 5 returns. The 5 individual companies that returned those are all pre-approved by the and I'm not sure if state or federal operation, but they're pre-approved. So we went through and looked at their presentations, and they have to meet certain criteria as to, there was, I think, 6 different criteria. Their design, qualifications, experience, how they presented their stuff, and if they gave us a good example of similar work. And I think there might have been one more. So the scoring is 1 to 5 on points, and then there's a weight for each one from 2 to 6. That's how we did it. I'll tally that up. And the company that had the lowest bid had the poorest presentation. They did not meet some of the criteria, and we got the kind of the impression that they were just looking to come in and do a bang bang job and take their money and run. 3 of the companies we have about a $35,000 figure here as the grant, and that's a 20. We have to match 20%. So the other 3 were over. All good companies. VHB we had done work with. We know them personally, and it was decided that the Dufresne Group was up to the task. They've done some local work in Proctor and several other places. They did a very good presentation, and they are on target with the amount of money we have to spend. So that's why we rejected, or we went with them over the low bidder.
Don,
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
No, I'm satisfied with the explanation. You know, not having the criteria in front of me, and the committee having fully evaluated, I think I'll put my trust in them.
All righty. Any further discussion? The motion is to approve, subject to the state's approval, the Dufresne Group's bid of $35,000 for the scoping study on Route 7 North, also known as JP Sidewalk. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Highway
Thank you.
Committee. What else?
That's everything I have.
Who belongs to the, oh, is that the fire chief and the forest fire warden?
What's that?
We have a request to reappoint
Oh.
the town forest fire warden.
Yes. It is in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
That comes from the state of Vermont. They sent that. They sent that to us. So
Okay.
Where's that?
that's letter C.
Letter C.
Am I hopping out of order? I might
Okay.
be. Yeah. We'll
C.
do it. It's easy. So up to this point, Joe DiNardo has been our town forest fire warden. The
Move
There-
to reappoint Joe.
motion's made to reappoint Joe. Is there a second? Is there a second? Joe, do you want to be reappointed?
Yes, I do.
Okay, would you second the motion?
I can. I just didn't know if that was appropriate, but I will. Yes.
Okay. Motion's made and seconded. This is a note from Lars Lund, District Fire Supervisor. And the term of office for your forest fire warden is due to expire on June 30th, 2021. He's recommending the current warden be reappointed. Appointments are for a period of 5 years. Motion's been made and seconded to reappoint.
I,
Yeah, discussion.
yeah, just, it may be a little bit tongue in cheek, but I just wanted to know whether this is a lifetime appointment.
Well, it says 5 years.
Yeah, I know. I'm referring to the, I'm referring to the snide comment that Mr. DiNardo made when I was rejected for the regional commission, the ambulance commission board of directors. I also, I really kind of have a little problem with this letter that this man sent, this Lars Lund. I'll quote the last paragraph. Should you reject the reappointment, please send a letter stating your reasons for rejection. Upon the receipt of the letter, I will contact your chairperson to discuss the procedure for appointment of a new warden. If you need additional information before acting on this reappointment, please feel free to call this office. We might send him back a letter, and we might quote our board member, J.P. Fagnan's answer when I asked the same question. And his answer was, we don't need to give any reasons for rejection of any appointed officer. We can reject for any reason or no reason at all. But I find it quite arrogant of a state district fire supervisor to expect that he has to be given a reason why we would not reappoint somebody. It's not his purview. It's the Board of Selectmen's, Select Board's purview, and the Select Board will make the decision, as we will tonight. And I'm on the record as saying that. I just want it to be heard.
So
Thank
the
you.
motion's been made and seconded to reappoint Joe DiNardo as the town forest fire warden. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Congratulations, Joe.
Mary, if I read that right, there's some stuff I got to come in and fill in.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, I'll be in tomorrow and take care of that.
Okay, thanks. Along with the rest of the stuff down there's a place there for your signature. Okay,
We'll have everything ready.
very good. Okay, anything else? Well, I guess the rest of it is under new business.
Mhm.
Okay. So, thank you, Bill.
Okay. You're welcome.
Well, I should ask, Select Board, anyone have any more questions of, well, sweet. Okay, now you're through. Thank you. All right. Kari Clark, Town Clerk and Treasurer.
Hi there. Can you
Hi,
hear
Kari.
me?
Yes, we
okay.
can.
Just using the call-in version this time.
Yep.
I don't have a whole lot to report. I can reiterate what I went over with our chairwoman earlier to the rest of the board. Our local option tax that we talked about last time did come in. So we are over our expected budget for the local option. This is good news. This is great news, actually. So all those installments have been made. We are ending the fiscal year very soon, so the budget status reports will be coming out weekly. If you are wondering about an updated version and you didn't get one yet, I can certainly email one, a PDF, or put it in your mailbox. And I did just update Mary on a second visit from a company for the digital land records. And that went very well, and our records look great, in good standing to move forward to get a quote from this company. He was gracious enough to kind of walk me through as if I were a researcher or someone looking for a land record on the digital site. And I have to say that it's pretty cool. And I will also have more opportunity. I did call Mendon, and we're going to set up a time where I can go and check their system out very soon. So I'll have more information as it rolls along here. But that's all I have for tonight.
Did you bring in the AM Peisch proposed contract for the audit for the coming year?
Thank you, Mary. Sorry about that. I did. I left that on your desk. We are asked to sign a commitment letter for the audit for this fiscal year. And it will obviously happen within the start of the next fiscal year, but it will be for this current one. And they sent that along, and if we could just sign that and get that ball rolling, that would be great.
Okay, this is for audit services that will begin approximately, well, it says June 1st, 2021, and to issue a report no later than November 30th, 2021. And it is for the fiscal year, which of course is closing June 30th, 2021. And they say, based upon our preliminary estimates, the fee at our reduced governmental rate should not exceed $15,500. We did check the town report. We have budgeted $18,000, so this is below what we have budgeted. Kari does remind me that from time to time, we do call Andrew for various accounting questions. She's careful about doing that because she knows that there's additional charges when that does occur. But have you been satisfied with the service of this company, Kari?
Very much satisfied, yeah. They're great to work with.
Okay. So I will entertain a motion then to sign or to authorize, looks like me to sign on behalf of the town select board, the engagement letter for AM Peisch. And this is, the letter to us is Andrew P. Simon, CPA partner for the firm.
I will so move, Mary.
Motion's made. Is there a second? Joe or JP, if you said something, I missed it. JP is seconded. Any discussion?
Yep.
If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Okay. Motion's carried. And I am signing the document. Okay, anything else, Kari?
No, that would be it. Once I get your signature, which it sounds like I do have, I'll send that out tomorrow in the mail.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. Another vote. Thank you, Kari. Any questions for Kari?
I have one, Mary.
Sure.
Kari, how are things going since we lifted the mask restrictions and stuff? Is everything okay over there?
Oh, thank you, Joe, for asking. It is wonderful. If you can imagine, it's lovely getting back to a little bit of normalcy, seeing people. We haven't been too busy, but I'm not complaining. The people that are coming in are happy and joyful to see us, and we are as well, and it continues to be okay. Thank you for asking.
Very good. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Kari.
You're welcome.
Barbara Noyes-Pulling, I don't see you on the call.
There.
Okay, there she is. All right. Town Planning Commission Chair. Good evening, Barbara.
Why don't,
Hi, good evening. First on my list would be the two bids that we got for the Pocket Park survey, land survey. You asked the Regional Planning Commission to look those over. And our recommendation is to go with the MSK one. They're from Bennington and Montpelier, and to go with the option 2, which is all of the boundary survey and all the contouring, the land conditions, the land improvements for $5,570. And so that would be our recommendation.
Okay, is there a motion on the motion to approve the recommendation to hire MSK on option 2, which is all of the detail, right? For $5,570.
So moved.
Motion's made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion. And this is well within the grant that we have.
It's
It's just-
within.
Okay. Joe, you were going to say something?
Only that that firm also was one of the participants in the sidewalk scoping request that we put out.
Right.
Yep.
Okay,
So they're interested in working in the town, apparently.
good. Any further discussion? If not, the motion to approve MSK option 2 at $5,570. All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Barbara. What else?
That's great. So the notice to proceed with this now, do you want that to come from the Regional Planning Commission or from the town?
It's set up, isn't the Regional Commission kind of the general contractor on this?
Yes.
Okay, so should it, I'm not sure who it should come from. I think it comes from the Regional Commission.
Okay, we're fine with that.
You've got the money, right?
You've got the money,
Okay,
but that's fine.
okay.
Gary's got the money.
Joe.
Right. In other business, the Town Planning Commission is, you asked us to come back with some ideas for a Conservation Commission. We're not quite ready with that yet. We haven't narrowed our focus. There are so many things the Conservation Commission can do that we're still working through that. So if we could ask for a little more time for that.
Okay, we'll put it over to the next meeting. Is that enough time, or do you need to have a,
I think
Couple
we
of
need
meetings.
more. Yeah, I think we need a couple meetings.
okay, so we'll put this sometime into July.
Yeah, because they don't meet again until actually after our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So that's B in your packet. We'll put over until a July meeting. Okay.
The commission's still working on the ordinance for airstrips and helipads. Just want to double check some of the dimensions that we put in and some of the specs, just to make sure they're going to work with the terrain here in Rutland Town. I mean, we borrowed language from other towns and other parts of the country, including some beach areas in California. So just want to double check some of that work. And so we'll be coming back with that in the near future, hopefully.
Okay.
And the only other thing I had was that I guess late this afternoon, Velco requested a letter of support for its expansion there on the Post Road. It asked it of the, I saw an email, was asking for the Town Planning Commission for this letter. I'm wondering if they asked the select board as well, and do you want to do a joint letter or none of the above?
Bill says we haven't received the request, so.
They sent me the request for the planning commission.
Right. Well, we'll have Bill check and see whether he wants the select board as well to approve, okay? Maybe that should be tickled for the next meeting.
Okay.
Does anyone on the select board object to the planning commission doing a letter of support?
No, as a matter of fact, I encourage them to do that.
Yeah. Okay, sounds like it's not, there's no opposition here, Barbara.
Yeah, I haven't run it by the commission yet. I mean, this came today, so the rest of the commission doesn't know about this, but I don't think there'll be any opposition.
Okay. Any questions of our planning commission chair?
Barbara,
Don, Barbara, can you hear Don?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Barbara, I came in a little late on this, but has the planning commission taken a positive vote on actually establishing a conservation commission in the town?
No. Where it's at, Don, is that we broached the topic with the select board a few months ago. Someone on the planning, a couple of people on the planning commission were interested in looking into it. And so then I went to the select board and said, is it okay if we look into this? And you folks have asked for more information and what we intend to do with this commission. So that's where we're at. We're just coming up, investigating, what would be the best uses of this if
we did it.
We haven't voted on it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Barbara? All right, if not, thank you, Barb.
Sure thing.
And thanks to the planning commission too.
Okay.
Do we have town council on? Okay.
I'm here.
All right, so we have attorney. Okay, we have attorney Brown on the phone, and I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of updates on pending litigation and to hear attorney-client privileged advice from counsel.
So moved.
Motion's made. Is it seconded?
I'll second it.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Don, are you an aye? Aye? In favor of the motion?
Yes.
JP, you're in favor of the motion?
I said aye.
I'm sorry. Sometimes you cut out, so I'm repeating because it doesn't show up on my screen and I don't hear you. Sorry, JP. Okay, motion carries. We're in executive session. So we're out of executive session at 7:29.
Good night, folks.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Second, everybody back in here.
Yep, let everybody in, please. Do you want to be next? Well,
According to the list.
are we?
You're all set.
We're out and everybody's back in. Okay.
What was the official out time?
7:29 out of executive session. Is there any motion to be made?
I move we have a special meeting to have the fireworks company come in and present their case.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to have a special meeting of the select board to invite CNC Fireworks in to discuss their fireworks permit. And we'll warn that for next week. If you agree. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, motion carries, and we'll have a meeting next week with CNC Fireworks. All right, back to the order of business. Mike Rowe, Town Recreation Director.
Well, hello all, nice to see you in person, some of us. Things are going well. The pool's up and running. We opened last weekend. Social distancing, everyone was great. It was hot and people were very appreciative of being able to get in, jump in the water, even though it was a little chilly. They didn't seem to mind. Baseball is wrapping up the next couple of weeks. The teams have been doing really well. So a big thank you to all the volunteer coaches that have taken part and helped make that a go. We had the senior luncheon coming up, as Mary was pointing out. We will also have one. I just set one with Jim. It'll probably be the 27th of July, and that will be at the pool. That's a Tuesday. Yep, and Byron will be our guest chef, and we'll have a nice little spread there, and we'll knock that out. The only other thing I have is we have one more meeting and then it's the 4th of July. So I'm just wondering what the board's pleasure is, how you want that to be handled. Last year they stayed in their cars. What are we thinking? And I'd like to at least know what you would like to do by next week or the next meeting, how you want to handle that. Do we park them and let them congregate on the hill? How do we want to approach this?
This is the 27th?
No, I'm sorry, Don. This is for July 4th, the fireworks. Last year they were in their cars. We only had a select number because we could only park so many cars where they could actually view the fireworks. So I'm just curious as to, I know we can make the decision next meeting, but I'd like to at least have you mull that over as what you would like to potentially, how you want me to
I think we
handle
should
it.
wait till next meeting, Mary.
I think we might hit the 80% by
That's
then,
exactly
so
my
we'll see.
thought. I was thinking we'd hit that by this Friday.
But if Bill, if we could have that like agenda maybe just to discuss, or if that
I just made a scribble
Okay.
note for that.
so
Okay.
that I know how to proceed forward with that.
Okay.
Other than that, everything's going smoothly. No issues. Everyone's been great, and things are running like they should. So, unless
Good.
you have questions for me,
Thank you. Any questions from the select board? Okay. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. All right. Next up, Byron Hathaway, Road Commissioner.
Good evening. Glad to
Hey,
be
Byron.
back, I guess.
Good to be in our office.
Yes. Yes, it is. Just a couple of announcements. One, I did receive emails from VTrans, and we have been recommended to receive a Class 2 paving grant for Town Line Road, and we've also been recommended to receive a structures grant for the installation of that big box culvert on Town Line Road. So the total between the two grants is in excess of $200,000.
Excellent.
if we get a
Beautiful.
few other grants that are out there, plus what we've already received thus far, within the last 18 months or so, if we're successful with everything, we should have close to $400,000 to $500,000 in grants to work with
Good.
for
Thank
various
you.
projects. Yeah, it's great news.
Yeah.
The Act 250 permit for the shared use path, the permit amendment is completed, I believe.
Do you have that done?
And
Did you give it back?
I left it on Mary's desk for her to sign, if the board so authorizes. And then that we can get that in. There's also a notice of intent for the stormwater permit that needs to be signed by probably the board chairman. And once those are in, we'll be in the permit process at that point, and hopefully within 60 days or so, we should be able to have our permits, and that will allow us to start construction early fall on that shared use path.
Is that a one signature application, Mary?
Yeah, both are. So
I
there's
wouldn't-
the notice of intent for the stormwater discharge and the Act 250 amendment permit.
I would make a
application.
motion that we authorize the chairman to sign the Act 250 permit and the water discharge permit on behalf of the town.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? Byron did do a draft. He circulated it. I saw it. Don saw it. Probably a few other folks saw it. I made some suggested amendments which have been incorporated. So if there's no further discussion, all in favor of approving the two documents and having me sign as chair, please say aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, so you have authorized the chair to sign both applications. All right. Did we have something else? No, for you?
Those are all the announcements that I had, other than as soon as repair parts come in, roadside mowing will take place in full force again. We started for a day or two and then lost a bushing on one of the arms, and it's just a matter of waiting for parts.
Okay.
Be back going again on that.
Update on Fuller.
Fuller is wrapping up some district work for V-Trans, and will be with us, I think, the third week. We're going to be, we've got one other little construction project to wrap up, which we will be doing on the 21st, and he will be with us probably that week to start on town stuff.
Okay.
Any questions of the road commissioner? Okay, thank you, Byron, and thanks for hauling in the money.
What I'm supposed to do, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, next up, Chris Clark, Town Fire Chief.
Hi, everyone. Two things tonight. One, I got a new member that we'd like to accept. His name is Peter Benson. He just moved here from Connecticut. He lives in the city right now. But we met with him last week, and we think he'll be a good fit. So with your signatures, we'd like to take him on.
Has anybody done a background?
We have, yep. It's the first thing we do.
Okay.
What was the last name, Chris?
Benson.
Benson. Okay.
Benton, I think.
So I can leave this in the office so you guys can sign the bottom of it. And
All right, is there a motion to approve?
I'll
So
move
moved.
that we approve the new firefighter.
Mr. Benton, is there a second?
I'll
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, so that'll be with the pack of things to sign in the office. Anything else, Chief?
Thank you. One more thing.
Yep.
Engine 3, the current engine 3's inspection runs out the end of June. I'm just curious what you guys want to do with the truck. We can't really, I don't want to sell it to another department with a rotted frame, so I don't know if we could sell parts off of it. I don't know what you want to do with it, so I'm just...
So put it out for bid, Chris. Chris, I would suggest we put it out for bid with a provision that it cannot be used as a fire apparatus, and make that a stipulation of the bid process. So, and the town reserves the right to reject any and all bids on it. So if somebody thinks they're going to use it or whatever, I mean, I think that's the best way. You're going to get a few bucks for it. Otherwise, don't sell it to a fire department, sell it to a private individual.
Okay. Any
Those are a
idea
couple
what
of things.
you're gonna get for it?
The drive line of that truck, and probably other than the frame being not meeting the requirements of the fire service, that truck's got to be worth probably $10,000, I would think. Just for the fire parts on it, the plumbing and whatever. But
Okay.
can always come down. I made that point earlier. We can always go lower, but I would ask at least 10 for it. See what happens. Maybe not. Somebody else speak up. It's an awful nice truck to have a rotted frame already.
Okay. I think that's it from our end for the chief. Any select board members have any questions? If not, thank you very much, chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, next up, Ed Dumas, town police chief. Hey, chief.
How you doing?
Doing.
So a couple things since our last meeting. I believe that you guys know that the quality in the city was closed down, and they moved most of the folks from there to the Holiday Inn in Rutland. They had no other places to put them, I'm being told. We have had an uptick in calls at the Holiday Inn since that time. The good news is by July 1st, that program will be shut down, and I guess they'll be giving a sum of money to each of the people to find a new place to live or make arrangements for the summertime for themselves. Calls for service. Any questions on them? The state police had 10 calls at Holiday Inn. We've had, I think, 7 or 8 since then this happened also. The new cruiser that's being constructed or supposed to be constructed already is still being built, we're being told. I suspect maybe it's not built. We're just holding us up at this point in time.
When did we think it was coming in, and when is it coming in now, maybe?
We haven't heard anything.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be built, I think, in May. It was supposed to be done 90 days. So,
Well, can we find out what's going on, or?
Captain Washburn our deputy chief Washburn has called multiple times, and they just keep telling him it's being built. Kind of in the dark on it at this point.
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
Okay, questions for our police chief?
Those calls, the state police and your calls at Holiday, are those drug related or theft related or both?
Usually there's some, I was reading them today, could be suspicious, which was one call was they were afraid a female was being trafficked by someone at the hotel. They couldn't figure that out. Stolen vehicles are either showing up there or be taken from that area. So if anybody leaves their keys in the car, please don't. We had one of the businesses in town with a brand new car was stolen and pretty much totaled. They went in the field with it. We were able to recover that, and then it was stolen again. And fortunately, we were able to recover it. And the person who had it got arrested by Deputy Chief Washburn. And various fights, a lot of thefts, a lot of disagreements, people getting kicked out for whatever reason. It's just, I know the state has put in 2 different security companies at the Holiday Inn, trying to assist the Holiday Inn when dealing with it. They've hired their own guy, who's actually quite good. But there's some issues with the security company saying they say, oh, we monitor and report. They don't do anything. So last Friday, I did have a conversation with the state person to find out, this is what we're being told. Why don't they enforce the rules that the Holiday Inn is trying to enforce? To basically, if you want to come visit somebody there, go through the front door. You're not allowed to go in the back door. If they fix the back door gets smashed. They have cameras up since they moved the people from the Quality Inn. Within 2 days, they smashed all the cameras in the West Wing where they were. And this is the same behavior that was happening at Quality Inn. And they just moved the problem to the town at this point in time. So, I mean, like I said, we got another less than a month to go, and then we'll see what issues come when they give these people a stipend of $2,400 a piece to move someplace else. That's a whole nother talking point, I guess, at this point, and we'll see what happens with that. So we're just kind of see if we can manage that some way.
Is the Friday group still meeting?
It is. We'll meet this Friday also.
Okay. All right.
Posted.
Thanks. Yeah. Questions of the chief?
Is there? Well, this is kind of sensitive, but without going into any executive session material, is there any follow-up on compliance and enforcement and fire safety and electrical?
So I believe the last select board meeting, the health inspector went over that they did do a walkthrough. They found very few violations, minor stuff. The owners have made, great corrections in their past building maintenance issues. So at this point in time, there was nothing the health inspector could do that I'm aware of. They did try to put all the cameras up. They have upgraded their camera system, but unless you have somebody literally babysitting the hallways to make sure nothing gets busted or broke, this is what happens when you have this thing. The state also brought in a team mainly to help with the COVID-19 vaccinations, convince the folks there to get it, and they also some other wraparound services if they can point them in the right direction. If they have drug issues or something like that, they want to try to help them out as much as they can. So, I mean, there's a lot of services the state has put forward, probably because we made a lot of noise. So we appreciate that, the police and all of us do. And then, again, to continue to have those wraparound services, I guess, until such time as the money runs out at this point.
Right. Have you had any follow-up conversations with Frankie Chaffee since we did authorize him to be hired? And
I'm still waiting to hear from him. I'm sure he's doing some research. As soon as I get the information, I will move forward with the stuff that I'm doing.
Okay. Thanks, Ed.
Any other questions from select board members for our chief of police? Okay. Thank you, chief.
You're welcome.
Next up, John Paul Fagnan, town health officer.
Don't have anything new to report. I did notice an agenda item talking about our order, which I think we handled at the last meeting.
Well, I think I'm looking at new business A, which is board to discuss the future of face shields and face covering ordinance. I checked with Bill after. I think this is what we put in place requiring businesses, commercial businesses in town to have their patrons wear masks in the stores. So I don't know as we rescinded that at the last meeting. So I think that's kind of why it showed up on the agenda again. Do you have a position on that?
No, it's force in effect under the state guidelines. Hello?
Yeah. So do we rescind our own whatever so that the state guidelines take over?
Right. Well, we said that we would, by its terms, it's in effect until we take further action or the state suspends its emergency order. I don't see the need to have it in effect at this point.
Okay, so do we look for a motion to rescind?
We might
Sure.
as well.
We should do it as the Board of Health as well.
Okay. So let's first take a motion to come out of Select Board and into the Board of Health.
So moved.
Motion's made. Is there a second?
Second. If I take, I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, we're now the Board of Health. Is there a motion?
So I would make a motion that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Don.
No, go ahead, JP.
I'd make a motion that we rescind the emergency order issued by the board relating to the COVID, and that we continue to follow the state guidelines as they're amended and updated.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to rescind our emergency order and to follow instead the state guidelines as they are amended. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to come out of Board of Health and back into Select Board.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to reconvene the Select Board. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, we're back in the Select Board. Next on the agenda, committee meeting updates. And the schedule of committee meetings, you will see Bill has sent around the committee meeting updates and schedules. Please do note that Bill will be out of the office for a period of time later this month, and plan your work accordingly, or you'll be doing your own minutes, right, Bill? Okay. We did have a meeting of the police committee. The minutes are there for your perusal. I don't think we had any motion coming out of that. So you did request, and we have included in your packet item 6, information about the police vehicle fleet and where the vehicles are housed. Okay. And actually, there's a couple different ones. All right. Any other committee meetings that occurred? I think we did hear from the Highway Committee. Was it that met just prior to this Select Board meeting? And we've heard from
well,
those.
we met this morning.
Okay. So we've heard from those. Any other Highway Committee business that needs to come before us?
Mary?
Yes.
On page 2 of the police committee report, letter R, that almost sounds like there might be something there if you read that.
Looking. Oh, well, I think it was, this was the question of whether we should reconsider participation with CFAC. And I'm not sure that it came before the full board or was it, but anyway, the committee is recommending that we do not go back into a connection with CFAC, primarily because of keeping our officers on the road for patrol purposes. So we have, that's a no on reconsideration.
So that'll be, that would be a police policy matter. We don't need a motion on that.
I don't, because we had withdrawn from CFAC previously, so I don't think we need to
Oh,
talk
wow.
about reconsidering it.
Okay.
I mean, if anybody disagrees, you can make a motion, but I don't think we need to.
Okay.
Okay. Update on project list. Water, city sewer contracts are there. Town hall monument. We still don't have anyone interested in working on a committee to deal with that.
Well, I volunteered to work on the committee, but
Okay.
Bill at the last meeting said he hadn't heard from anybody. You haven't still heard from anybody yet?
Still is correct.
I just wanted to know if the board had any objections to me contacting Ken Haliba. Ken Haliba, well, he happens to be a distant cousin of mine, but he's a West Rutland, originally a West Rutland resident, now lives in Rutland, but he worked assiduously. He put a ton of hours in, and in all respects, really, that wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been involved with it. He put a lot of time in, and I just wanted to know if the board had any objections to me contacting him and asking him if he would be willing to help us with this.
I don't, and I would suggest select board. I've got two folks in mind. I suggest select board members reach out and to people that you know who may be interested. And
Right.
let's see if we can get some folks
Well,
involved.
it was immediately came to mind Ed Squira.
I was thinking Ed too. Okay.
Yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah. Why don't I give him a call? And I know Chris Kiefer Chaffee in the past has volunteered, so
Yep.
I'll contact those two folks.
But we should get something going. But
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it long enough. Okay, we
will
did
contact.
some work on the Pocket Park tonight. Transfer station toilet. I think we'll have an update from the transfer station committee at some point. Pedestrian corridor, I think we dealt with that tonight, in the Northwood Park Trail System. Railroad lawsuit, we got an update. Water and sewer inventory is almost done, except for, did we find the missing manholes in Flory Heights? Not yet. Okay, we're close. Shared use path, slip lane. I don't think Highway's taken that up lately. Dilapidated buildings, succession planning. We do need to talk about that sometime. Route 7 North, JP's sidewalk we dealt with tonight, rooftop solar arrays, Center Rutland Fire Station lawsuit, and replacement of McKinley Avenue Fire Station. Bill, we were going to do a doodle poll on the McKinley Avenue committee.
Yes, the fire chiefs are putting together their information.
Okay.
They need some time to do that still, so when they let me know they're ready, then we'll put the poll out for.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Under new business, a couple of quick announcements. The senior luncheon I've already mentioned. Sugar and Spice, June 22nd at 11:30. Get your reservations into Jim Hall by the 15th, so he can get a head count to them. The Circle, all of the articles were due yesterday. I put in a couple, one on our listening sessions for the use of the ARPA funds. So we've picked a couple of dates when people can call in and give us their ideas. And the Circle should be coming out toward, well, probably around the 20th or so. And we don't have the RSVP volunteers in yet. So whoever would like to label and tape will be volunteered to do so. Was that your hand, Don? Thank you. You did it before,
Yes,
so,
I did.
you know, and my daughter and I have, so let us know. Okay, new business. A, the face shields we just did. B, the Conservation Commission is put off until we hear back from the Planning Commission. C, we've appointed the Forest Fire Warden. D, meeting room use from Fire District number 5. And if you look at D in your packet, cleverly re-lettered to correspond. I think it's in here. Yeah. We have received a request from Rutland Town Fire District number 5 to use the, I'm assuming it's the select board room.
Probably downstairs.
Downstairs, okay, where we vote. On August 11th, 2021 at 7 p.m. for an hour. And they have received a copy of our meeting room policy. And they have remitted payment for use of the meeting room by paying last March. That was clever, last March. And that meeting had to be canceled due to COVID. So they considered they have already paid for the meeting room. I'll entertain a motion to approve Fire District Number 5's use of the meeting room on August 11th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And I'll do aye. So use of the meeting room is approved. Okay, E, the board to review the stormwater discharge permit application. We've done that. F, board to review for approval the contract from Brookfield Service, F. And you will recall that we have a contract each year. We've moved to doing it every year, so we remember that we have a contract with Brookfield to come and service the various generators we have in town. And it also includes 2 visits, so one visit a year to our 4 units in McKinley, the fire station here in the town office, and our substation, and then 2 visits a year to the school for the generator there. We pay for that, or we have in the past paid for that, because we use that as an emergency center for the town. So the totals are there. If we pay by June 30th, 2021, we do get a discount. So you have that in front of you. Is there a motion to approve Brookfield Service as vendor for generator servicing?
So moved.
Motion's made
Second.
and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries. Okay, next. G, the board to discuss the purchase of air purifiers for town hall. We have an update on that, or do we need to put that off?
It emailed that information out to the videos, so I could, the information
Oh.
I couldn't, so that's what I provided.
Yeah, could we move that to the next meeting?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't look at the videos either, so, all right. Okay, H. So G has put off the air purifiers to the next meeting. H, board to review RFPs for JP's sidewalk. We've already done that. I, board to meet an executive session with town council. We've done that. J, any other new business? Well, let me just double check. I've got that one done. That one done. We did the junkyard, salvage yard, sorry. And I think that's it. Does any select board member have any other business to bring before the board?
I move to adjourn.
Motion's made to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Made and second. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, we're adjourned at 8:04. Thank you all very much for participating.